Hello and welcome once again to Wandering Monster, America's Test Table, where we ask the age-old question: how badly can we stress each other out while playing a tabletop role-playing game? My name is John Baltusberger.
I am Charles R. Bernard.
I'm Bridget Brave.
Ian Servos, and the answer is a lot.
For those of you who couldn't hear the whisper, that's Mr. Paschke.
Getting started early.
So, my friends, we've been doing Wandering Monster for a very long time now. And by we, I mean myself and Charles, and before Charles, me and Leonard. It's just been this whole thing. I'm pretty happy with what we have going on right now. There's one person in the group that smells a little funny, but we're doing pretty good. So one thing that I have, one thing that I have harped on, let's say, time and time again, is my avoidance of Eurocentric games. If I see a game is standard, like castles and medieval European elves and dwarves, essentially like if it's Tolkien, but it's, not actually Tolkien, I'm cool on it. Just not a big fan of those games because for a very long time that was the game. That was what was out there. And once I discovered the indie scene and I realized, like, no, there's so much more out there, it changed me as a person. So I always look for things that are outside of that particular flavor of game. Now, the other day, my friend Roland Coons messaged me and said, "Hey, this podcast mentioned you. They said favorable things about Odd Gobs." And I was like, "Okay, cool. Let me check this out." And
Us?
well, yeah, us, as in Madness Heart Games, the Papa Nurgle of Wandering Monster, if you will. And to my surprise, the person saying the kind things was Exalted Funeral, an incredible online store that has taken much more of my money than I feel comfortable disclosing, including today as I purchased a second edition of the Morkport vinyl, this one to frame. But this will not stand. I cannot have Exalted Funeral out there saying nice things about me unanswered. And so I immediately went to their website and purchased the entire catalog of a game called Primal Quest. I did this because it's cool. Like, it's Stone Age TTRPG. And I've seen a few things like that before, but I hadn't seen anything that really embraced kind of the, like, gonzo Lost World feel of, like, a Gendy Tartakovsky cartoon. I think that was actually a cartoon, might actually also be called Primal. Anyway, Primal Quest has that feel. It's brutal, it's cool. This is also what I'm holding here is the core rule book. But I got that. I got the adventure. I got a book on beliefs, and I got 2 adventures in pamphlet form for about $40. So I was really, really happy. Stone Age TTRPG stuff, it's kind of like I'm always talking about, is the indie scene allows people to do really interesting, unique shit that just warms my heart and then takes all my money.
I wish you didn't mention that the vinyl was recut, because right now I'm back on Exalted Funeral website and like, which of these editions do I want? I'm like,
it's so good. It's the Phlegm edition, and it's so pretty. It's like translucent with like specks of black, and it's sexy.
The yellow one is so on canon. So
it is. They're both, look. As someone who now owns both of them, you can't go wrong. Yeah, I have one to listen to, and I'm going to frame the other on the wall with like,
That's the correct thing to do with vinyl that you truly like love.
yeah.
Is there's a couple that I have 2 copies of for that
Mhm.
exact reason. So
And honestly, I was like, I've been thinking about doing that before they announced the new edition. And so like the new edition was just like, well, now I have a good excuse. So anyway, I wanted to talk about Primal Quest because it's got here, it's gorgeous. It's obviously a passion project and it's very cool. Sorry for sidelining us so long. Ian, what are we playing tonight?
We're playing Black Phlegm edition. No, we are playing. We all
I'll have the PDFs in just a second.
fantastic. So, as you were alluding to on our intro, when you're saying that you want to move away from Eurocentric games, one of the most effective ways you can do that is go pre-Euro and go Neolithic. So we are playing Primal Quest. We're going to be showcasing the rules that were also this is written by Diogo and edited by our friend Wayne. And we're going to be running Diogo's introductory adventure, which is the Cave of Our People, which is, as far as introductory modules go, there's a lot of really fun, cool stuff in here, and I am excited about it. And you better not have spoilers. Looking at you.
I promise I haven't read any of it.
would it be fair to call ourselves at this time period Pangean Americans, or not Americans but Pangeans, I guess?
I was going to say Stone Temple Pilots, but yes, that works.
I much prefer. Okay, we can do the Stone Temple Pilot thing, but we all have to mumble the entire time.
Oh,
Nothing can be read.
And
I'm gonna have
there we
Deeds
go.
Yeah,
translate
now
for
that
us.
you mention it, like Disturbed would be the band for the Neolithic that or whatever. Yeah.
There was so much of that we can totally go into. So Primal Quest is a simple rules-like game that really focuses on getting to the heart of the action by using a D6 system, which is pool-based and allows for very flexible character creation. You can make a character in just a minute or two. And one of the best features about this game is the tag system, which is looking at either transitory or permanent traits and states about your characters that may help to add more positive dice or perhaps even add negative dice to your rolls whenever you're interacting with the world. And they are constantly changing. You pick them up, you lose them. Some of them are just intrinsically about you. But the flexibility at system really adds for a lot of versatility in this game. And I'm really excited to see how that plays out tonight.
I will say
all of
that the that games that use tag systems like this are I'm a little biased as it's a tenet of John's design school, but I love this sort of thing. I think it allows for a fun freedom of storytelling that is really hard to beat, in my opinion.
And it's also classless. It's all just like you're saying, it's a collection of tags, some starter equipment, and then just a lot of imagination. So, kind of given that preface, we're going to need someone that's going to throw themselves on the altar all volunteering and tell
I
us
tell you
their.
what, I'll flip an imaginary coin. You call it in the air, and if you get it correct, I will go first. Okay, ready?
Okay.
All right.
Edge.
God, it really hurt. Like it went right into my wrist when I.
Son of a
Yeah.
bitch.
You should have imagined a painless coin.
What are the chances?
Yeah. So tonight I will be playing the part of Atok or Etok. It depends. Like I never really knew how that Tool album was pronounced either, but Aetokk. I'm gonna say Atok. So I'm a wandering musician and entertainer. I'm a little bit on the glib side. I am driven by fame and attention and romance and also debt that I flee from constantly. I'm clad in luxurious tarantula fur, which gives me a whopping 1 point of protection as armor. So these were obviously like short-haired tarantulas, not the long-haired variety. And that's pretty much everything about me.
So I'll go next. I'm Gulab. I'm the chosen of the sun. my bros just call me Glub, so you can call me Glub. I would prefer that. Yeah, so I'm just here to do what I do best, and that is to teach you all about how sick the sun is, guys. It is amazing. It is the reason we are here. It is our everything, and don't let those fucking moon worshippers tell you otherwise, okay? They are coming around. They're telling us that we need to kill the sun, that I should stop staring at it, that it's messing up my eyes. I just, it's ridiculous. So yeah, that's me. Blood, sun.
I like how there's almost like a little bit of throwback to the fire pearls of Iagon.
Yeah.
I think there's just one flavor of Sun Priest.
Yeah, that's it. That's the sun priest. He's a bro.
It's a little bit like a turkey staring up, drowning in the rain with our sun priests.
It's just milky cataracts and melanoma.
Don't forget to
No
tame
thoughts.
your taint.
Just sun.
That's what you got a sun to yoni. I don't have a specific beef with the sun and the sun god. Yeah, sure, fine. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. I'm not here to fight you or argue with you. However, I prefer to exist and commune with those that reside primarily in the shade. I am Orakthul. I am also a sort of priest. I commune with nature, specifically living nature, specifically creepy crawly nature. I am trying to remember if there's anything that y'all really need to know about me. And what you really need to know about me is fucking bugs are cool, y'all. Like the sun's awesome. I'm not gonna argue with you. But bugs kick ass, and you don't have to sacrifice any of your kids to them.
My clothing's made out of tarantula hides, so I'm on right there with you.
As long as you honored their spirits, when after you made your it's cool, bro.
Yeah,
bug parts rock.
They all died of natural causes at a ripe old age.
It is worth mentioning that Auroch is not this chill, but he's also not he's very dour. Let's put it that way. Not an asshole, but very dour.
I think bugs in the pants will do that to you.
True. Do I always wake up with bug bites?
They're just they're love bites.
Meet Fang. Fang like adventure. Fang once jump on back, pterosaur. Fang flew over mountain. Fang land in lake. Fang learned to swim. Fang inventor because of swimming, but not point. Fang favorite weapon Fang have is a axe made of a bone with rock on end. It's good axe. It's great. Second favorite weapon Fang have a knife made of bone. I like to stab with bone. Anyhow, Mammoth, you've ridden Mammoth, right? We've all it's weekend. What is week? What is day? Other than the time that the sun is up there. But allow Fang to explain to you. Riding Mammoth. Thrill, lifetime, must do. Good experience, all must have, at least once in our short lives. Fang, thrill seeker.
Sir, I would like to congratulate you on the best admissions essay ever written to Caltech and congratulate you and welcome you to the class of 2028.
I love how you're speaking one word at a time, but the third word out of the gate was polysyllabic. I'm like, that's great.
For more on how to speak like a caveman. Yeah. So I'm playing Fang. Fang is a thrill seeker, and yeah.
Is from your introduction there, is Fang a used mammoth salesman?
No, Fang
You could
did
fit so many Neolithics in this bad boy.
Fang
Delightful.
Fang lived long life, and first 10 years of life, where most people do in their whole 20-year lifespan, Fang had done by time 12. Fang maybe 30, but Fang must tell you could be 40.
I like that eventually, as Fang keeps warming up, you're going to hit Shatner pace. You're just going to get Neolithic Shatner for the rest of the night.
Primal
All you've got to
Fang,
do is just start doing the
mountain.
inflection in every direction, you know. Bang at bottom of lake.
Primal Fang is climbing a mountain. Why Fang climb mountain? To hug mountain. To envelop that mountain.
So each of your characters has different motivations, your ambitions, the things you're running from. But the thing that is really bringing all of you together is that all of you need a sense of home and community. And you have found that through your wandering, that the people of the Vale, they call themselves the Lakit, are always welcoming of people that will embrace their traditions and be one with their community. The one thing that you need to do in order to be fully fledged members of this community, to be fully accepted, is to go through a special initiation ritual that marks you as being truly one of them, even if you don't share the same blood, that you share this commonality. So have all of you met each other previously, or are you going to be meeting each other for the first time at this ritual?
Fang was my high school English teacher.
Fang might not remember you because Fang been very busy cave person. You were much less height. Yes.
I think that was it Gloop? Glorb?
Glub.
Glub. I think Glub and Urak are know each other based on just like the like life cycle events of like, hey, new kid's born, sun priest go, hey, someone died, time for the insect shaman to go and like return them to nature. So
We
like
also have the same
like that.
hallucinogenic frog dealer.
yeah, well, so like we are colleagues and like loosely friends.
I like the concept that instead of a tower of silence, you have like the tower of bugs, and that is just beautiful.
And I kind of like talked my way into the group. I'm a glib motherfucker, so I'm also a lot of fun. You know, I owe people money and shit, but I'm a lot of fun.
It's not
I don't
so
understand
much
the concept
money as
of money.
there is no money as much as it is commodities. As
No.
the
Okay.
core trade is either it is in resources, it's in food, it's in beverage, it might be in hide, it might be in
So
material goods.
What about
sheet-
shiny rock?
My sheet specifically
Ooh,
said
shiny rock.
debt. Is it like I owe people sheep? Do I owe people apples? Let's say
Hallucinogenic
I owe-
frogs.
That is a very good question.
Let's say I'm on the run from an angry apple farmer.
It's totally believable if
I
you said
lived-
that
Yeah, I lived in his orchard for an entire season just snacking on apples. And I mean, in the early season when they were green, that didn't go so well for me. But round about fall, they got real good. And yeah, I wound up kind of eating them out of house and home. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. And
promise someone a tarantula fur coat and never receive it. So all of you sounds like know each other in some capacity, and that as you're getting ready for this ritual, that you're coming together and bonding in this commonality as newcomers to this tribe. So all of you are summoned to a cave that is just it's around where this village. It's to the north of the village, and it is the link between the people and the wise spirits that reside within. It's where they've buried their ancestors, so it is hallowed ground. So at the mouth of this cave, you meet the shaman who is preparing your ritual. You see that the shaman is festooned in all kinds of like tails of various animals and bunches of fur. It's as if there are little fetishes representing all the people that they have buried, and they've introduced themselves as Bricklaw, or the village elder and the shaman leader, all rolled into one for this tribe. They have been they're bent over a small fire, and where they're stirring this gourd, and it is gurgling and giving off this very peculiar pungent odor. Bricklaw looks at all of you and says that once you have consumed the tea, your spirits will be loosened from your bodies, and you will be able to traverse the spirit world, and you will get insight into the world beyond, the things that have come and the things that will be, and your place in not only the tribe, but in all things. They sit down on a cushion that is made of some type of woven fur that you're not exactly sure what it is, and they invite you to sit and ask any questions or gather any equipment that you need before Bricklaw pours the tea for all of you.
I sit cross-legged. I put my my bug walking stick on over my lap and close my eyes, ready to go on a magic journey.
As you,
I'm tempted to grease myself up because my inventory does say sack of grease, far too much of it. But I don't know if that would, like, there might be a fire involved, and I don't know if that would go well for me. So no, I'm ready to hallucinate.
Yeah, and I'm just going to crouch in the place that will get me the optimum sun while I'm hallucinating, just full baking during this.
That's gonna be difficult in the cave.
It's going to be difficult because this is like a single chamber. You don't see any other types of exits or apertures that might let your god into this space. But your god is benevolent enough to give you enough of illuminance that you can see the walls of this place, that there's pictograms and different glyphs on the walls. Some of it doesn't seem to have any immediate significance to you, but you see that there are scenes of struggle and of heartbreak and of triumph all over the walls. Some of them are very simplistic, and some of them are quite detailed. There's by the fire pit, there are various tools and weapons, relics that people who have been buried have left behind for others to use. Bricklaw pulls the gourd off the fire and looks at it. And then after staring for a while, very kind of silently, puts the gourd out. Who wants to take the gourd first?
Yo, okay, I'll let Sean do it first.
Borak reaches for the gourd.
So it's hot, but it cools almost unnaturally cool, where it's almost ready to drink right off the fire. You go ahead and take a sip.
Yep. I do whatever is the like most proper ritualistic way of drinking a hallucinogenic gourd. Like whatever, I do everything by the book, essentially.
Brickla looks at you and has like a little subtle smile across their face as they notice that you take it with the proper reverence that it deserves. It's bittersweet, it's hot, it's comforting, and you feel, starting in the back of your molar, you feel your teeth begin to itch just a little bit, like they're almost like rattling in your skull.
I reach into my mouth and I withdraw the hissing cockroach that has been nesting in my cheek.
I was hoping you were going to reach in there and scratch your teeth, like itchy teeth.
It's the old
No.
cockroach in the molars.
Mhm.
Even
It's my
after you
favorite party
remove the
trick.
cockroach, your teeth still itch, but definitely feels a lot better not having that thing crawling around in there. The rest of you take the gourd one by one, and you also feel that same type of warmth radiating through your body. Your teeth kind of itch a little bit, and nothing really kind of happens at first. Bricklet
Man,
just
this
sits.
edible ain't shit.
Oh,
Oh,
that's the worst thing to say.
No,
Uh,
I was going to say I'm surprised we're not vomiting already. Like a lot of your classic brewable and
Iron.
drinkable hallucinogens will make you puke your fucking guts out before you start hallucinating. But
that's why we butt chug this.
No,
there
I
it
didn't.
is.
I didn't
There
butt
it
chug
is.
it. Fang,
Your very
I'm
your
going to-
very tanned taint is perfect.
I'm going to treat this with the utmost respect.
Wham!
That is the traditional way. So
Yeah.
I was gonna snort it. So
You can snort it after I butt chug, buddy.
yeah,
So
like to
you're
picture
looks
getting
like he
kicked
made
out
the
of
decision
tribe
for us. So.
and
like to picture you-
hallucinating on your journey out from the tribe in dishonor.
Snorting it with a
No.
crazy straw,
So after about 30 minutes, you notice that the pictographs in the walls seem to be moving just a little bit. Like you can see these scenes beginning to play out kind of very slowly and animistically.
Hang on a second.
Hmm?
I lean over to Fang and I say, "Did you just invent television?"
Fang invent many thing. Television. Fang, of course, would if Fang felt world needed, but no.
I'm just wondering if, like, during the middle of this, like, Fang does so much in the way of hallucinogens that Fang, like, talks normally and then as it wears off. So all of you get the first of your many tags that you're going to be having this evening. You all have the tag Augmented Senses, as you are now beginning to perceive a little bit of this spirit world beyond. And where you were just in a one-room cave, you can look to your left and also to your right, and you see that there are passages now into the mountain or into this hillside that weren't there before. The markings across these two doors give you a little sense of what might lay beyond. One has pictographs along it that clearly describe to you with this new sense of vision what has come to pass. And the other one says, what is to come. You look around you and you see that the exit to the cave where you first came in is gone, and so is Bricklaw. It's just the group of you.
Uruk slowly kind of pulls himself to his feet, leaning on his staff. That was strange. Usually I vomit a lot more.
You said that there are two paths that we can choose from. One that's like the past and one that's the future.
What has come to pass and what is to come?
I don't think that anybody, like, I don't know. This would not. I think this would be in my character that I don't necessarily want to know what the future has in store. It's definitely in Charles's character that if I were given a chance to see the future, I'd be like, oh God, no. So I would advise that we look at what has come to pass.
John agrees with Charles. Uruk disagrees with Charles.
Uruk wants to scry, huh?
Yeah, I think as a shaman, it's like, no, man, we gotta figure out what's up.
Well, I would think that as a shaman, you would know that the old adage that scry rhymes with pry.
You know what? That's a very new adage right now.
Yeah, they're still
Yeah,
testing
sure.
it.
Did you just come up with it?
I might be beta testing it. I don't know. All right. Well, if you want to see like Real Housewives of Salt Lake City season 5 or whatever we're on, I say we go for it.
Dude,
What do
the
you
Real
guys think?
Housewives series would kill someone from this time period.
Yeah. Yep.
Why they drink bubbly liquid so much? What they do when not hunt? Why this?
So what are you doing?
We are gathering our wits about us and going through the door that will surely lead to our madness to see the future.
I think if we got our wits about us before we do have augmented senses now. I was thinking we were still in a hallucinatory state. I was picturing us like it wearing off and us just like walking into the wall just as like the path to the future vanishes. Bonk.
No, man, I scry better this way.
So, who is going first? Who's taking point?
Fang is a thrill seeker, so
Yeah.
he is all about this. Like, yeah.
So when you rise from your seat, you feel a little bit loopy at first. Everything's just a little bit distorted, and you quickly get reacclimated. But you definitely feel the effects of the hallucinogen, and you start to get more fully grounded in the world of the spirit. More and more about this, you see that this is truly a different place and a different time altogether. And when you pass through that doorway of what is to come, you immediately get this assault of different senses. Like, just everything is just different, more vibrant. And like, you being a thrill seeker, this is just amazing. You see that you are now in a chamber with a very tall ceiling, and there are rocks that are scattered across the floor. There is a great crevasse that divides this room. It is deep and imposing, but right on the edge of it, there is a large tree. There is some type of very strange black ooze that's on the other side of the crevasse, and it's gurgling and just almost writhing a little bit. When you look at that tree, you see that there's a little bit of that black ooze beginning to rise up the trunk, just very slowly, heading up the branches. Along the floor, you see there are rotten fruits.
8 rotten fruit ones. Made feel like this. Not as intense, though.
Yeah, can confirm rotten fruit is good.
Black ooze. Fang no trust. Fang fear different. Fang must kill.
I'll play you a merry tune on my panpipes while you do that.
Oh, I thought you had a drum. Dang it. I gotta
No,
erase
I've
that
got
now.
I've got panpipes and also let me see what else.
Can you just
They're
type
giving
into
you
your
a
character
bone
sheet
recorder.
a drum made out
Yeah.
of human skull, please?
Yeah.
Yes,
skull
absolutely.
drum.
Type that
Yeah,
in.
so I'll be doing a little drumming and a little bit of accompanying on the panpipes, which I string around my neck like Bob Dylan. Only I guess I guess Bob Dylan bit my style because I came
Yeah.
first. So
There
yeah,
is no reason why you couldn't have picked up a spirit world skull, instrument in that first chamber.
Why not?
You notice that as that black ooze is beginning to climb up the trunk, that leaves are beginning to fall out of the tree. The leaves themselves are beginning to turn gray, just like the trunk of the tree is, so that the life is being sucked out of it. And up in its branches, where these leaves are beginning to fall, you notice that there is one perfectly ripe fruit. It is bright yellow with a hint of like a pink blush.
You guys want to get the fruit?
Yeah, we should
Yeah, it
probably get
sounds
it so that Ooze
delicious.
gets to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
How are we gonna get across this crevasse? I've got grease. We could grease up and see if we could get some
You
speed
could
going.
grease up, and then Fang could hurl you.
I can
We can
fly over there.
Wait, you can fly?
You can't. You guys can't fly.
if Fang find pterosaur again, done before, Fang could fly, but with help.
Huh?
I think
No.
No.
Orok,
no.
Orok walks to the edge of the crevasse and kind of looks around a minute, looks at how dangerous it is, strokes his little bristly pube hair beard.
Unnecessary.
No, I needed to know that. Very important.
No, look. I don't know if you've noticed. The people who have never shaved a day in their life always have the worst, patchiest, pubiest beards.
Go fuck yourself, John Baltusberger.
You're saying you have never shaved in your life.
Oh no, I have. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. People who have never touched a razor in their entire life.
I don't know. I think if it gets long enough, it's pretty much. I don't know.
Anyway, Orok reaches deep into his robe and looks at Charles. What's your character's name again?
Athok, I think, or Atok.
Atok. I have something, and reaches it down into his robe.
Zip.
And pulls out a little jade or flint, I guess, I don't know, little statuette of a fly.
Cool.
I'm
should
going
get one
to give
of those IRL.
I'm going to give you a blessing of the fly so that you may fetch the fruit.
Okay, cool. I'm
And
down.
I hold the statuette of the fly in one hand, place my other hand on Atot's head, and just bloody scream out a prayer. I'm going to use sorcery to give him a very short-lived gift of levitation using the fly focus.
Now, are you using that to help you climb the tree to get to that fruit? Because I also heard at one point hearing about going to the other side of the crevasse. So
I think we thought the fruit was on the other side of the crevasse.
Yeah, we
it
thought
is
we had to
on
cross.
the near side.
Oh,
There is
fucking
a
never mind
pool
then.
of black ooze on the far side. But
Oh.
it could help you to climb this tree easier if you want to go through the effort.
Yeah, but that's a very different spell. Okay, so scratch all of that. You no longer have the gift of flight. Sorry, Charles.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I had the
Um,
same mental picture that you did,
yeah.
John.
I also, yeah.
I still reach into my robe and I pull out a different thing. It is a onyx carving of a spider.
Neat. How many of these,
But
like
how-
this is awesome. I feel like you have like a whole chess set in there or
Yeah.
I
something.
kind of do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm
this
going
this one is the pubic louse. Now, as you will see,
what I give
Oh.
my gift of the gift of the pubic louse is
It's
a
the
weird
gift that keeps
smell.
on giving.
yeah.
I give you this gift and also the small comb. But yeah, I take out my spider foci, and I'm going to use that to cast essentially this like unnaturally swift climbing and clinging ability to Atot.
Cool.
So that's going to be making an invocation. So what I need you to do is to make me a mind test. So you are going to be rolling your one mind die, and then because this is a more challenging invocation, you're going to be rolling 2 negative dice.
Okay. Let me just see real quick. My
If you want to advocate one of your tags to give you another positive dice, let me know.
I do. So I believe this is falls within my motivation of sharing the spirit of the insects with my with people,
Hey,
and
And if
Paschke,
I could just, Hmm?
would it be
I
a
was gonna say
total
if
pain
I
in the ass for Paschke to make a John Baltusberger negotiation gif?
keep in mind, if I just may do a yes and if you're also looking for that kind of tag, the friend that you're wanting to cast a spider spell on is wearing spiders.
that
Oh, I did.
is yeah. Oh shit. Okay, no. Hold on. What I'm doing is I'm invoking the souls of the spiders he wears because he told me they were ethically sourced and he
Yep.
There
honored
you go.
them, and therefore I am asking for them to honor him with their climbing ability
Cool.
as my sorcery.
Very
Well,
cool.
So for this is going to be our first roll of the evening. Whenever you're doing a attribute test like this, basically you're going to be rolling a pool of positive dice and negative dice, but you're taking the highest result from both of those pools, subtracting the negative from the positive, and adding your attribute, and that's what you're comparing to the difficulty. So go
Now-
ahead and make that so you're rolling 2 positive and 2 negative, and keep taking the highest out of both pools.
Fuck.
If you get a nat 6 on either side, you have to let me know.
I got a nat 6 on negative.
All right.
So my total score is a -2.
Okay, so that is interesting. Tell me about how that's went so horribly wrong, and we will play that out. So whenever you roll a nat 6 in this game, either good or negative, it adds like a boon or a bane to the situation. So we'll see how
I
this
know
plays
exactly
out.
what went wrong.
Okay.
He lied to me.
No, I
They were
didn't.
not ethically sourced. Now he may have gotten it through no fault of his own, but they did not die natural causes. They were killed by someone. Murdered, I say. And so when I entreated them, they instead grew angry and lashed out somehow.
So you fucked up and I take damage. That does sound like the John Baltusberger I know.
Well, they could take control of your like arm and cause you to punch me in the face.
So
I don't know.
the spiders are upset at the situation, and they are plaguing you, Urlach, and placating you to set their spirits at ease. So basically, you're going to get a extra negative die your next roll as you are just plagued with thousands of spiders that are like, put my soul to rest, because there's a lot of spiders that it takes to make up that cloak. So,
hey man, let us to rest, please. Let us rest.
So all in all, your spell is not effective, but you can still climb the tree, Air Tech. Do you want to go ahead and do that, and then we will see what the rest of your entourage wants to do?
Yep, I will
So make
climb
that-
the tree.
All right, fantastic. So that for you is going to be a body check. Go ahead and make that.
Okay.
So 1 positive, 1 negative.
Positive is 1. Negative is 2. So -1. And what is my
Your
stat?
body is 0, so
Yeah, so -1. That's a fail, I assume.
yes. So as you are trying to climb this tree, you see that black ooze is beginning to spread upwards, and it takes notice of you. This black pseudopod of it begins to quiver, and as you are trying to scrabble up, it smacks out at you. You notice that this whole thing doesn't seem to be like it's just kind of almost inert, like it's just this black goo. But as it gets close to you, like as it's in striking range, it seems to burn with this intense heat that just surprises you utterly. Like it's just full of just terrible hatred. I need you to roll me a defense roll. So you're going to be rolling another body check, but you're going to be adding in your defense as a bonus.
Positive
after you-
is 5, negative is 2 for 3, and defense. I see body, mind, heart.
Yeah, so that's a +1 to that total.
The what total? Oh, okay,
So-
+1 to my total. from the roll. So 4.
All right. So it lashes out at you, and you move just in the out of the path of the tendril of it. It is, you feel like this searing heat, and it melts some of the tarantulas on your shirt, and it begins to kind of spread a little bit, but they detach off, and you can just see how it just consumes your material. It's really noxious stuff, and it's beginning to spread even higher up on the tree, and more leaves fall out. So Fang and Gulam, you've watched this whole thing play out with first a fly statue, then a spider statue, and there's lots of screaming. And Airtech tries to climb the tree, and he's getting attacked by this goo. What are you doing? There's a as a kind of reminder, there's a passageway to the north. There is the passageway to the west where you came from. This deep crevasse that you can look down into, and then on the other side of that crevasse is just this pool of black ooze, the same stuff that lashed out at Aeotech.
Are you suggesting we ditch them?
I'm just letting you know what your options are.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, I heard
ditch
get
'em.
out of here. Dump these zeros.
Yeah.
Take
Hop on the first mammoth, heading south, and let's just
our chances.
Go ahead.
I'm going to cast fire at the ooze.
This ought to be exciting.
Yeah.
So this is also going to be invocation. Now, with these spells, you can add more of your totems if you want to augment them. It may or may not change the difficulty depending on what you're wanting to do. But if you're making a simple little firebolt, you're going to be doing that as your invocation. So that's 2 negative dice and your 1 positive dice, unless you have some other attribute that might give you another bonus die.
Yeah, I'm just going to cast a straight firebolt.
Okay.
So
You don't have any other tags that you're using to get an extra positive die? You're just on this.
I mean, I guess I could orate at the goo as I'm casting fire and try to cow him.
If you give me a rousing line or 2 from that oration, I will allow it.
All right. Then I will tell this goo that I'm going to come down on him with all the force of my god, the sun. And the sun does not care if you are able to slap me. The sun will slap you with its rays. It will burn you. It will leave holes where your body was once shiny, much as it has done to mine. The sun is a power we cannot fight, and it will come for you.
Are you saying that your god is an awesome god?
Yes, he rules.
Oh God, it's an awesome
I'm having flashbacks.
I'm surprised you're not catching on fire, Charles.
Yeah, no, I can hear.
That is his motivational song.
I can hear cathedral bells from my house every day. If I were harmed by that stuff, I'd probably be dead by now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you're gonna be rolling 2 positive dice and 2 negative dice.
All right.
Drop Kick Me Jesus by Bobby Bear is my favorite, by the way.
All right. My positives are both 5s and my negatives are both 4s.
Interesting. Okay, so for you, Gulab, that is a total of 3, which is a success. So you're able to lash out and send a bolt of fire towards the ooze.
Yeah, take that ooze.
As it strikes the ooze, it seems to engulf the fire and it swallows it. It doesn't seem to hurt it, but it doesn't seem to... It just seems to kind of pause, and you hear weird chewing sounds coming from inside the ooze as it's digesting the fire.
Wait. Could we tame this ooze by feeding it?
Sounds like it. We
I
fed
could
it.
serenade it. I mean,
Guys.
Can we
We
romance?
haven't
Free
tried to
ooze pet.
tame random monsters on this show before yet.
Yeah, no, this is free ooze pet. There's no downside.
get in there,
None at
bug
all.
guy. Get in there, bug guy. This is your thing. You deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Like
could just be a
swarming.
swarm of
Yeah.
black fire-eating bugs.
Isn't everything made out of bugs at one level or another?
It's all bugs.
The answer to
Bugs
that
all the
is
way
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Fang, what are you wanting to do as you've been watching all of this play out?
Well, fire didn't work. That's a new invention. So I am impressed that the peak of our technology has failed. Fang must do something.
Here comes
But
the Shatner.
Yeah.
Yes.
should I just lean in? Quick, we must go and rescue our comrades before they are eaten by the slime. There. That's my Shatner.
All right. So
Sorry
what?
for
So what is it that
disappointment.
you are doing?
Fang sees the peril of the situation, and knowing that you got to live for the day, just the slime is eating. Fang, without hesitation, goes, "Quick, friends! Distraction has made by the fire eating. Come!" And is trying to get them to like jump away from it, and he's throwing a stick at it. Just whatever stick or rock he can find, whatever is on the ground. Followed quickly by Fang, show you.
So are you attacking the ooze, or are you just throwing a stick at it?
It's
to
called
feed
a
it?
Yeah,
display.
I'm gesturing boldly, bigly.
Yes.
I'm trying
Yeah.
to intimidate the slime.
gonna mate
Expressing
with that
dominance. Yeah.
Yes.
Body language,
Go ahead
throwing
and-
objects, classic.
You make me a heart check.
A heart check. Okay.
So for you, Fang, how that's going to work is you're going to. I really like your display there. You're going to roll 2 positive dice and then 1 negative dice, and again, you're picking the highest die from either side.
What the fuck?
I'm
3.
picturing
They are all 3s.
Ian, I'm picturing
Okay,
you
well,
when you say that you liked his display, I'm picturing you on the sidelines, like smoking a cigarette, just being like, very good. Yeah.
Nice. Sick.
Very good, chap. Very good. So you've thrown the stick. You've done this. You've poured your heart into this ritual, and the stick just sinks into it. It engulfs it. It doesn't even seem to chew. It just lets it hang there, and the ooze continues to slowly climb up the tree. At this point, almost 75% of all the leaves are gone, and it is beginning to send these very slow tendrils up towards the last fruit. If one of you scrabbles up there, you might be able to get that fruit in time.
Can I
I
scrabble?
already tried.
Yeah, all right. If you want to do some scrabbing there, Glub, make me a body roll.
I got nothing extra on my body. So that's just 1 and 1 then, right?
That's 1 and 1.
And it's a -1.
Ow.
3 and a 4.
Okay. Now, it's already been rolled, but don't forget that one of the things that you can do in this is you can choose to spend effort. So before you roll, you can always sacrifice one of your vitality points to add an extra positive die at a 1-per-1 ratio as a reminder. So there looks to be maybe one more round before the ooze could probably reach the fruit. Anyone wanting to risk it for the brisket?
Get that fruit.
You know what? This is dumb. I'm going to attempt to cast a spell again. I'm going to reach into my robe, grab my worm effigy, and I'm going to do the worm. No. What I'm doing is kind of invoking.
It's magic.
In detail, please. How
That's what it
do
can
you,
do.
how are you holding it, for example?
I'm watching Paschke's
I think we're all looking forward to Paschke's drawing at the end
Yeah,
of
I
this.
really think we are.
And if for the casual viewer, the first time viewer, if you have not looked up Mr. Paschke's drawing after the show, he makes these fantastic images based on the adventures, and it is a must see. So by all means, check us out on social media or us individually, and check out Paschke's drawings. We're gonna make a book out of all of his drawings, because they're wonderful.
I mean, it's already in a
Yeah.
book. It's called a sketchbook.
True.
Yeah, jackass.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it.
I'm also starting a metal band called Worm Effigy.
That's pretty good,
That sounds
actually.
like something that both me and John would absolutely dig.
Yeah, I know. It's like I'm looking on iTunes to see if it's out because I know I will love it.
I mean, yeah, that's one where I'd be like, based on the name alone, I'm gonna give it a listen. Yeah.
So I'm going to invoke the worm as part of the cycle of like decay and decomposition to just
Praise Nurgle.
break the stem of the fruit so it falls down into my waiting hand.
I completely expect you to say, if no one can have that, if I can't have that fruit, no one can. I thought you were about to just destroy that fruit, and I was like, oh, buddy. All right.
No.
Very awesome plan. I like that. So again, that is going to be an invocation. So there's 2 dice for your negative, but 1 for your positive. Unless you have any other tags that you want to invoke and or spend effort.
You know what? My trouble is that I was outcast by my old tribe. They saw me as a troublemaker and a bringer of pestilence. I don't know why, but I am
They're still dealing
attempting
with those lice to this day.
I am attempting to dispel these thoughts and ideas of myself. I am trying to show myself to be helpful and a team player. I am using this as an attempt to raise myself in the esteem of my new tribe.
It's your redemption arc.
I like that. Absolutely. That's 2 dice on either side.
2.
2 total?
2 after I add the stat.
That passes.
Oh, lovely.
So you snap the stem of the fruit and it falls. And are you catching it, I'm assuming?
Yep.
All right. So it is the size of an infant's head. It is bright yellow and pink, and it has this sweet scent to it, like it's something that you remember from your childhood or your home that makes you very sentimental. It seems perfectly ripe. And you see up ahead, the tendrils droop just a bit, like disappointed or angry, and they very, very slowly begin to follow the fruit.
I am suggesting we leave.
No, I think we
Good
should
idea.
make camp right here and wait for them. Yeah, I think we should leave.
I will possess so many spiders on your body.
Yeah, let's book it. Where should we go?
Oh,
What are we gonna
Dang.
do with the fruit now that we have it?
I
Eat it?
assume we were going to eat it.
Yeah,
we're gonna eat
okay.
that.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, but let's get away from the. Well, I guess it's just going to follow us as long as the fruit's here, huh?
Probably, yeah.
Do any of you have
It's
a knife?
very slow.
Bank have
Yeah,
knife.
I do too. Yeah.
Bank have knife and axe.
Ah,
give me a
I
knife.
let
think
Fang
Philly's
handle
probably
it.
got the best knife.
Yeah.
Let me borrow a knife.
Borrow. Key word. Fang will get back.
Yes.
Fang pulls out his bone knife that still has blood on it, and he does that like he's going to hand it to you. You go for it, and he pulls it back, stares at you inquisitively, and then puts it back out for you to actually grab it.
Urok takes a knife, slices the fruit into 4 equal portions, and then like hands the knife back and then hands a piece of fruit to everyone.
That piece had blood more on.
I trade the bloody piece to Fang. I'm not gonna. I am
in
fucking
this-
with Fang.
In the center
like
of the
Wu-Tang.
in the center of the fruit is a pit or like a large seed about the size of a thumb.
I'm going to pocket that.
Okay.
All right. I eat my piece of this apple-like fruit. The one that is so very much like an infant's head in how
incredibly delicious. Just the sweetest thing you've ever tasted.
It's just pretty good.
Fang,
Yeah, I'm into
remember,
it.
had good fruit before. I mean, it reminds Fang of a fruit Fang had. This good too, though. Fang don't mean to downplay.
How does it compare to your apples?
well, I was gonna say, like, this is I'm very much like a fruit enthusiast, so I am really happy with this outcome.
An
A fruitiest, if you will.
And an
Yeah,
enthusiast.
Enthusiast, yes.
So you have a passageway to the north, or you can go back the way you came and head to that door that mentioned things of the past.
Hey, Ian, were we actually given a task, or we were just like, come here and do some drugs, bud?
Well, how many times has that happened to you? So what you need to
Me, John, or because Bunch is bud?
be exactly. So this
Doing
is an-
drugs is a task, John.
That's no,
Exactly.
Hey, I always felt that way about drinking games. Like, it's not a game.
yeah.
There is
Not a fucking game, man.
So the part of this is shrouded in mystery, as this is a process of becoming and experiencing. The process itself is to go through this, because by going through something in these chambers, you're going to share some type of commonality with the whole tribe that's going to bind you to them. You're going to have this intrinsic bonds that you just need to experience. So
I
you know
vote we
that
keep going.
more
I
rooms
vote
you
with
go
that-
through, them.
I vote we press on to the what was it, the west that we have?
North.
The
passageway?
west is where you came from, so you can go to
Okay,
the
no.
doorway talking about the past, or you can go to
I-
the passageway to the north.
North.
Let me
yeah,
let
that's-
me posit, Charles, that we should experience if we want to be like really get in with this tribe. Good, we should know not just where they're going, but where they've come from as well. We need to do both.
Sure.
So I suggest we go one more door in, and then double back and go to the door from to the past.
Bridget, Paschke, what do you guys think?
Yeah, the future's not looking great, dudes.
No.
It never does.
Yeah,
It
this
looks
is
super
not.
sweet.
If we go to the future, eventually we're gonna have to have jobs, and eventually we're gonna have to deal with the Black Death, and eventually we're gonna have the internet, and eventually
Ben Shapiro will happen.
2020
More
will
Black Death.
happen.
Yeah.
I thought,
It's a
yeah,
mixed bag. Indoor
I
20
thought
it's
you
gonna
were
be good.
I thought you were going to do this like slice this montage. It's going to be eventually we're going to be in a room on cameras where we're playing games and doing this thing. Man, so
I
I think
am-
that's called the simulation theory, Ian.
we are just brains in jars, buddy.
Yeah.
I mean,
So what art are you going to the north? What's the rest of you say? Do you follow Bugman?
yeah, I'll follow the Bugman.
yeah. Bugman got us that fruit. He seems to be showing some pretty good leadership skills.
Did I get my knife
Bugman
back?
got us that fruit. Let me jot that down.
Bugman.
Bugman, knife.
Yeah.
Bugman, return knife. Bugman did not say knife was given back.
Bugman
Well,
get
I did immediately return the knife.
Only in this
Bang looks
podcast can we
down.
spend an hour on just one room, and I love it.
Bang looks
Yeah.
down and
Okay,
fixes the
okay.
thing.
We are
Hold,
thorough.
That's not an
okay.
even
There.
thing.
Thing
hold your
wrong.
goddamn horses, because
They're
I
both.
would argue that any other group would spend 5 hours on a single room exploring that ooze, whereas we're like, okay, we got the fruit, fucking next place.
That's
Yeah.
true. I
Which is-
did.
No, it's just showing us that this game can be played for hours.
Absolutely.
Hours and
Also, I want to
hours.
point out that some of the first games we did with Ian were Morkborg. Charles and I specifically would like go in places like, all right, well, we saw what we need to see. We don't want to die, so we leave.
Yep. Yeah.
And they're like, game over, I guess, because y'all just
Yeah.
left.
Well, Ian was too good at telegraphing sometimes. He'd be like, From ahead, you hear the sound of people being horribly eaten by a horde of 750,000 undead. And we're
That
like,
is where
don't
we
open
saw
that
we
door.
met
Yeah.
Ham Fun for the first
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
And Charles and I were just like, well, then we
Well,
right off.
we're out of here. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite modules.
We
I
were
will
very
s-
Abbott and Costello in our pursuits.
It's
Yeah.
true.
So the
I
future.
will say I did run Liminal at HoosierCon, and that was a phenomenal experience. We should play that as a podcast because if you like going through weird rooms, holy crud, was that a fun
Hey,
experience?
Ian,
So
99%
quick.
sure we played it on
What?
the show.
No, we talked
We
about it
interviewed
with
Alexi.
Alexi.
Mhm.
Ian, do you know anyone who worked on that book? Any
there
writers
was
that
this
you're aware
handsome
of?
guy with a beard.
Ian Servas,
Well, there are two of us.
Johan Noor, Danger Slater, John
Yep.
Baldesberger, Garrett Cook. Sorry.
Yep.
Anyway,
It's a real
back
cool
to
game.
Primal, which is also incredible.
John, I think you
So-
dropped something.
Is it my ego? Because I didn't.
No, it was like a whole bunch of things.
Honesty.
Was it
Oh,
a worm effigy?
I think it was names. I think that's what you dropped.
Oh,
Ooh. I thought you were talking
dang.
about the chat, talking about picking up the flint knife. So the group of you, am I hearing north?
yeesh.
Yeah.
El Norte.
Yeah. So as you begin to cross into the next room, you're instantly hit with this wall of cold. There's a snowstorm that is just billowing inside this stalactite and stalagmite encrusted cavern. There is a deafening wind. You couldn't hear it before you passed through the threshold, and now it just hurts your ears with the intensity of how loud it's roaring. At the center of this chamber, there is a giant opaque gray crystal just jammed into the center of the cave floor. The further that you trudge into this room, the like thicker and thicker the snow is, so it's almost beginning to be hard to see in front of you.
So
I
do we
hate the
hear
snow.
wind or like is there wind? I just want to be clear on that.
Yes.
Yes.
We hear
You
it
hear the
or-
wind, and there is wind.
Okay, thank you.
So I'm saying it's
Um,
loud and it's windy.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Let's see. So like like with that great crystal, I want to actually try something. I want to try serenading the crystal because it being gray and jammed in there, I have a feeling it might be some sort of storm totem. And both of the instruments I have on me, the panpipes and the flute, well, not the drum, are wind instruments. So I figure that my musical skills might be of some use in here.
They paid the bills.
Yeah, yeah. So in my drugged state of creative ecstasy, may I check to see if I can commune with the gray stone
Yes. The
by,
first thing I'll
by
need you
playing
to
my panpipes?
Yes, the first thing I'll need you to do as you begin to enter in further and further into this room, your vision almost goes just pure white from the intensity of the snow. So you can see where you want to go, but then as you start heading that way, it's just a white out. I need you to make me a mind test to navigate correctly towards this as the wind is pushing you around. Now, you're encouraged to think creatively if there are items that you want to use or tags you want to invoke to give you boosts in this room. And the longer you spend in this room, the more bone chilling it's going to get, and you're worried eventually of frostbite.
No, I'm not, because I am greased up from head to toe.
So you did go greasy.
Yeah, I do that before I get into the chill wind because this is real shit. Like people will anoint themselves with fat of various kinds when they're like in the Arctic or whatever to avoid
I
sunburn
love
and
that.
windburn. Yeah,
My question is for you.
blubber
were you-
specifically. Yeah.
Were you putting on that grease more to protect yourself against the snow and the wind, or were you greasing yourself to protect yourself from those crotch lice from the bug shaman?
Yes, as you said.
Rude.
All right.
Sorry, Rock.
Let's do a.
Pubic lice need food too, guys.
I know. They almost went extinct, I guess. Let me Do that check. That's 1 and 1, right?
So you are going to get 2 bonus dice from the blubber because that is actually extremely effective.
Wow, 2 bonus dice. So on the low, I'm gonna go with 1, and then let's see. There's a 5. That ought to be sufficient. But I also rolled a 6, so I'll do 6
a 6
minus
on
1
what?
is
On your positive dice because that's
yes.
a boon.
Yes, that's a
Okay,
boon.
so if you would like to use the ability to add your ability modifier, or not your ability modifier, your if you want to, with that boon, it'd be enough to get through this because this is a very challenging situation. But you're able to push your way through the snow and towards this giant crystal. It's large, opaque, and it's jammed into the ground. You can see that it's been almost forcefully jammed so hard it's cracked the floor around it. As you get close to it, there's a lull in the screaming wind around you, like you're almost in a little bit of a bubble. It gives a little bit of a faint, dim gray light, and you see there's fragments of the crystal laying all around.
How many fragments?
There are at least 6 of these in your field of vision.
Okay. I will gather those up. And man, like in game, they probably can't hear me on the other side of the wind, huh?
Yeah, you can't even see them.
Okay.
As
Because I'm torn about whether to stick these back into the rock or like take them with me. I think I'm just gonna take them with me and go back to the others.
As you are collecting these, you see people, shapes beginning to form on the other side of the crystal. You see that there are 6 of these people. They're gray-skinned men and women, roughly in their 30s, which is pretty old for like the Neolithic age. They're muscular and covered in scars and tattoos of like bestial monsters. Each of them have a shard of that crystal just jutting from their chest. And they make their way cautiously over to you to like not show that they're threatening, just like walking over to you, and like one of them puts their hand up to like, you know, as a kind of a safe greeting.
All right. Interesting. Okay, so I wonder if I could feed rope through the wind to my compatriots, because I do have 50 feet of it, and I would think that with the rope, maybe some of my party members could cross over here with me.
If you would like, since the wind is going in that direction, yeah, you could just toss that out in the wind.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna basically do like they do during a whiteout, have them kind of, you know, one by one up the rope come to me.
Sure. As you're greasy, just make me a body check just to see how this goes.
How greasy is Charles? Let's find out. The answer is 1 plus whatever my we're doing
That's
body.
enough to pass.
Yeah.
So the rest of
All
you
right.
are on the other side of this whiteout, and all of a sudden there's this rope that just comes snapping out at you.
And it's only
You just-
semi-greasy.
It's only semi-greasy. Are any of you taking this rope and following your compatriot who seem to be swallowed up by the storm?
Absolutely.
Yeah, why not? Love a good greasy
Okay.
rope. Let's go.
So the rest of you, you know, step by step, you get into the lull of the storm, and you were surprised to see 6 of these figures that I described earlier, tattooed with monsters all over them, muscular, scarred, pretty like they're gray-skinned, but they look pretty healthy for being so old in their 30s. They're just very old. But they have this crystal shard jutting out of their chest, and you see that Ertak has a collection of these same crystals. One of them walks over and with a deep sonorous voice that seems not to be completely synchronized with their mouth moving, it says, welcome We're glad that you have come here.
And I respond, we are here to become part of the tribe. How
They-
are you?
Instantly light up when you say that, and they cut you off. And we are glad that you are here to join our tribe. And they all touch the crystal that is jutting from their chest, and they look at the crystals that you have in your hands, and they motion for you to hand them one of the crystals.
I don't want to get stabbed in the chest with a crystal. How about
Charles,
you guys?
Charles, I want you to look
Not
at
a
it like this.
stabbing,
But
it's
are
a
you
I want you
giving.
to think about it like this. Are they going to stab you? Yeah, probably. But, on the other hand, maybe they won't.
And also, this is all a magic vision. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give him the crystal shard.
Hell yeah.
So the man takes it gingerly in his hands and wraps his fingers, and you can see that they're almost unnaturally long. And he beckons you to come closer, and he says, "Bare your chest."
I
Still
mean,
could
do I
be
have
anything,
to
man.
IRL? Like, sure, fuck it, why not? Let's die. It's awesome.
So go ahead and roll me 1d6.
You got, and this is how many times he stabs me. He stabs me 3 times.
So he stabs you once straight through the solar plexus, and
Ow.
you feel it root into you. Take 3 points of vitality damage, and like it burns, but in a cold way. Your body strength, your body score instantly increases from 1. So you go from 0 to 1.
Sweet. Cool.
And then the man
I'm a
turns,
stone man.
and then a woman steps up next to him, and they both say in unison, "Who else wants to join the people?"
You guys want to do it?
I mean,
I mean,
you have
Yeah.
not lived till stone in chest.
yeah, yeah.
and then you might live afterward. Maybe not.
So far,
Yeah. I'll
7
try it.
people live with stone in chest. Fang could live stone in chest.
Anybody else wanting
Yeah.
to go through this
Yeah,
ritual?
we're
Yeah. Yeah.
So
All of us
you
are doing it,
include-
Ian.
All right, each of you roll me d6.
This is peer pressure now.
2.
Everybody's doing it. All right. And you, Glub. All right, so that's how many points in vitality damage you take. Each of you get 1 added to your body score.
I feel like it was a worthy trade-off in my case.
They all 6 of them all smile, kind of creepily, but also very contentedly, and they walk around the giant crystal, and then they seem to disappear.
Oh, we'll be seeing them again, I'm pretty sure. Those fun-loving dicks.
So, as you were kind of here, the epicenter of the crystal, are you still wanting to sing and play your panpipes, or are you wanting to press on further to the north?
I feel like the panpipes would just be a hat on a hat right now. And I also think what John or
Have you ever stopped this before?
Uruk, no, it hasn't. But I also know that Uruk wanted to go back and check out the past. So I think that's what we're gonna do. Yeah.
Yep.
So I will secure my rope around the big gray crystal's base at its slenderest point so that we can get back to the wind.
Base.
Yeah, and I'll just leave the rope behind, and that'll just be there for the next person who wants to go
Okay.
get a stab in the chest.
So when
Why
you
wouldn't you?
I mean, maybe I've started like a whole religion there by leaving that rope there. Like candidates will come and climb up the rope, and
So when you go back into the chamber with the giant tree in it, it is completely covered from base to crown in that black goo. The goo is now spreading much further from the opposite side of that crevasse, and it is bridging the crevasse with just more of this ropey tendrils and is pulling itself across. But it is not impeding your way at all to the way to the west, where you originated.
Okay.
I wonder
cool.
if it'll get to the storm eventually.
Is it chasing the seed?
I don't know.
Was it reaching for me?
It's kind of a amorphous blob, so maybe.
Okay. You say that as though it did form pseudopods and reach for me before.
Oh, you mean
Yeah.
when you're passing through
Yeah.
the room? So I
Yeah.
think of the whole thing in advance. I mean, this is moving very slowly. If you stand long enough, yes,
hug
the
the wall.
tendrils are moving towards you.
Okay.
Specifically him, not the rest of us. Like we take two steps to
Some
the
are
left.
coming in your direction as well, but they're more of the tendrils are heading in his direction. Correct.
He's got the seed.
Got the seed, baby.
We've just got the fruit in our belly.
Now, since you did take damage from the stone, if you wanted to, in the room where you first started, you could safely rest for 10 minutes and get some of that vitality back before continuing. Keep in mind that, of course, the whole adventure itself is timed to the length of how long that hallucinogen lasts, but that is a press your luck mechanism if you want.
I don't feel the need to rest.
Let's keep going. Yeah, I've still got
Okay.
plenty of vitality.
So heading from the west, from the room with the ooze to where you first started, and then heading into what has come to pass, you find yourself again in a large circular cave with packed earth. There's a circle of red stones. Across the circle, there is a large brooding stone throne upon which sits a large ape. Upon his head sits a winged bronze helmet that is
Fuck
stained
yes.
with blood.
Yes.
We haven't reached the Bronze Age yet. What the fuck is that on his head?
And in the center of that ring of stones, there is a bowl.
This is by far the coolest room so far.
Yeah,
It is
into
a
this room.
Stone bowl that inside of it contains, from what you can see, a dark viscous scarlet liquid.
Drink it. Drink
There
it.
is a passageway to the north as well.
I'm drinking the liquid.
Drink the mystery liquid.
Yeah, it's blood. It's not a mystery. It's crimson. It's probably monkey blood. Ape blood. Excuse me. That's insulting. Did you say the ape was alive or dead or made out of rock
the
or
ape
what?
is alive, and as soon as you enter into this room, he is about to start speaking. So the question is, are you going to let him speak, or are you going to dive towards that bowl? I don't know what your instinct is.
Are you shitting me? Talking monkey? I'll hear whatever he has to say.
I mean, he could be smarter than all
It's
of us.
Ronald Reagan. Sorry.
The first
Now
thing he
Bonzo.
says when he sees you, he kind of props himself on one arm, and he says, "Kneel."
No, me Fang, not Neil.
I'm gonna hold off on the kneeling for now. I mean, since Fang's not gonna kneel, I feel like I'd be a little bit embarrassed and be the only one to kneel.
Yeah, dude, I don't want to look like a wuss in front of Fang.
I know Neil. Neil live 3 days travel.
He takes himself off of his elbow and he stands up and he rears up. He is a massive ape. And he, again, just looks down at all of you from the top of his throne. And without question, he just says, "Kneel."
I play him a merry song on my panpipes. Specifically, I play Ape Man by the Kinks. Compared to the birds and the flowers and the bees, I am an ape man. Yeah,
Love that
it's a
song.
great
Yeah.
song. So I think that would put him in a very jolly mood. And since I am an outgoing dipshit with musical talent, who is glib and good at talking people into things, I'm going to do a merry jig while I play it to hopefully so charm this great ape, this very great ape, that he will not
Greatest ape.
pound us. Yeah, greatest ape. Do I do what kind of check for that?
So that's going to be a heart check. So you're going to be rolling 2 dice versus your 1 penalty die.
Okay.
He does seem like his brow is furrowing as you are not kneeling and instead pulling out panpipes. He is glowering at you.
Well, guess what? That's a combined score of 6 without a nat 6. So I think
So
the
okay.
total is 6. Yeah. 3 from my dice rolling, 3 from my heart score. I think that I just charmed the dickens out of this. Oh, you said we want to hit between 0 and 3 on that, right?
Oh, no. I'm saying that's your average threshold because a 6+ is basically like a legendary difficulty. So
Hell
you
yeah!
have so
the power of the kinks.
The glowering ape looks at you and cracks a smile. Looks at the rest of you with like this look of disdain and hatred, but looks at Airtech and smiles and he goes, I was going to ask one of you to kneel, or all of you to kneel, and one of you to offer yourself up as sacrifice. But thanks to this asshole over here, I will give you exactly 6. Well, seconds might be abstract. I will give you 2 breaths to get out of here before I choose one of you and beat you to death.
Yes, sir. And I'm hoping nobody's gonna put up any. Yeah, I'm out of there. I'm out of there the way we came.
I think I liked our chances against the ooze better.
Now,
Yeah.
keep in mind, there's a passageway to the north from here that you can go. So are
Oh
you
yeah,
wanting
might
to
as well go further.
Actually, before we go, I serendipitously dropped the seed in this room.
Oh, interesting.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Fang is holding his breath because it's extending his time.
Not your breaths, I don't think.
Fang does not know that.
Ape looks at the seed with a lot of greed and is waiting. You can kill yourself last.
Appreciate that. Cheers.
All right. I think we
what
carry
about
on
you,
to
Glub?
the north then.
Yeah, I think I'm getting out of here. I'm
You're
following-
welcome, guys.
Yeah, I'm with Fang.
Yeah,
following
let's
Fang.
go. Let's go back.
Wait, back or are you going north?
Yeah, we can go further instead of going back.
Let's go
if we
north.
want.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Let's not go get Tasha Yard. Let's go somewhere else.
I am excited to know what happens when the ooze finally gets to that room with the ape.
I think that the ape guy is going to kick its ass, to be honest.
Only one way to find out. And that's Ian has to make it up.
Keep holding our breath. We have one more good inhale, and we wait for the ooze to get to the monkey.
So you see that you were in a meandering tunnel in this cave system. It goes north for some time, but you see that there is a branch off to your right. If you want to keep going further down this corridor, you see that there are more entrances opening further up ahead. So the question is, would you like to branch off at the first opportunity or push deeper?
What do you guys think?
I think we should branch off at the first opportunity.
Okay.
So let it be written, so let it be done.
That sounds good to John.
So when you branch off, you see this is a short natural corridor, but after you travel it for just a handful of paces, you see that it's blocked with an avalanche of heavy stones. As you approach it, you smell the scent of death and decay, that sickly sweet smell that bodies make when they've been lingering and not being buried.
You guys were the ones who told me that Warhammer was selling a scented candle that was like hive pox, right?
Yep.
Great.
Anything you're wanting to do here, or backtrack and keep continuing going north?
Keep going.
I
I
go
mean,
ahead.
what? Reminisce about how it smells like my mother? I don't know.
we got nothing. Never heard it so quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go back and pursue the option with more turnoffs on it, the hallway with more exits off of it.
The next room will be ape democracy.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you continue to push forward, the path continues more or less straight before it begins to curve a little bit towards the east, and there's a branch shooting off from the west. From here, kind of a little aperture you have to stoop down into, you see what looks to be like a small cave covered in vines, and there's a large pink fruit in the center of the room, like the size of a pumpkin.
There's so much
Otherwise-
fruit on this adventure. I love it.
Mhm.
The passageway that you're in continues to the right, and it looks like a much larger chamber opens if you continue to follow it.
Bugman. You
Bugman.
you you summon beetle. It fly. Grab fruit. Bring back. We eat. You do?
I mean, that sounds good to me.
Bugman.
That's me. Yes.
Ah.
What if I tried to turn you into a beetle? But a critical failure with that would be, you'd have to do your Jeff Goldblum impression. By which I
Just
mean,
endless
absolutely, that
copyright.
sounds amazing.
We
Paschke
could
fly. Yeah,
go-
Paschke beetle.
that direction. It's you see the ahs are close.
That was a high school band, the Oz.
It sounds like an oompa band, like you should be playing the tuba or the sousaphone.
It was Shatner meets Goldblum. I got it first try, man. Like I'm
The
picking up what you're laying
Shatblooms.
down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I am going to. You said it's a pumpkin, right?
It
Or
is
size of
a
Size of a pumpkin.
large and long pink
Red.
fruit, the size like big as a pumpkin.
Okay.
Think of how big a piece of for each of us that is.
I'm thinking about.
That's like a
I'm-
3-pound chunk of fruit. I'm very excited about this.
I sit down and I carefully meditate on the various flying insects I know.
Are you keeping your eyes open and studying the room, or are you closing them and focusing on images of insects in your mind?
I'm tripping balls, is my answer to that. So I'm sitting there, eyes wide open, seeing my meditation in front of me.
Because you all have the augmented senses tag, and if you are staring into that room while you're doing your meditation, you notice that the vines and roots that are covering this chamber pulse once in a while. Like they're twitching.
Okay.
That's just the sign of a healthy vine.
Do the vines have a dick vein?
The stem that attaches to the fruit does.
Nice.
Yeah.
They call that the Snickers thing.
Yep. I'm going to consider all the wonderful flying insects that feast on vinyl fruit, and I'm going to attempt again to cast flight on myself. I am attempting to also use the tag my eidetic memory for insects.
I get it. And I will help him. I'll provide an assist by playing Flight of the Bumblebee on my my little bone flute. So I'm going to be tickling my bone flute while John does his thing.
Hmm.
Tell me what happens
Right.
when Charles tickles his bone flute to the digbane vines.
Yeah.
Tell me, Ian. Paint me a word picture.
Yeah.
What does that look
Do
like?
it.
Someday, someone from my family is going to watch this very
What does that
episode.
sound
You're
like?
going to have
Ian,
questions for me.
Ian, toss me a word salad.
Oh, buddy.
Charles.
So,
Charles. Do me a verbal analingus, my friend.
I
if
was
you-
talking about the
after this-
dinner item. I don't know what you're talking about. You sick
After-
bastard.
Analingus is what I'm talking about. Sorry for being confusing on that.
After you play this adventure, you'll have to look at the map because there are those little veins that you like in this room, so it'll make you happy. So, if so, now, are you doing this as a functional thing, like you're getting fly wings, or tell me what effect you're wanting to make with your spell, so then we can adjudicate how the
I'm
spell
not-
works.
I am, but they're not like growing from my body. They're kind of like spectral.
Okay.
So you see me, and then you kind of see the form of a massive, fly
Beetle wings. That's
over
cool.
over me.
Nice.
All right, so make me your 2 positive dice, 2 negative dice.
Baller. I got a +6,
Total, or did you roll a nat 6?
and I rolled.
You rolled nat
I ro-
6?
Buddy, I rolled a 6 and a 3 on my positive dice, and a 6 and a
add them
3 on
together.
my negative dice.
Well, you
Okay.
can drop the
You don't-
top negative.
You only take the top of either of the positive and the negative, so that's a
Oh.
-3 right there.
But what I was telling you is that I got a positive and a -6.
Right. So
okay.
it's a boon
misheard
and
that.
it's a boon and a whatever, and it averages out to 0.
So you have options. Either you can cancel out the negative thing that's going to happen with the positive thing you get, or you can choose to apply a bonus stat boost to your check that you're making, give someone else a positive die to the next roll, or get an insight into this room.
I guess I'll get an insight into this room.
Okay.
Um,
So
And
not canceling out the
no,
negative.
I'll cancel the negative thing.
Okay.
So my roll was a 3 at the end of the day.
At the end of the day that passes, you get your wings to help carry you into this small space. Again, the walls and the floor are covered by vines and roots, and you've got this pink long fruit the size of a pumpkin. So you go up to it. As you get close to this fruit, you smell that it gives off this wonderful scent of like honey without getting stung by lots and lots of bees. That is a wonderful thing. Do you pick up the fruit?
Yes, I pick up the fruit.
Soon as you pick up the fruit, it makes a very sad flatulent sound as it begins to deflate. It releases a cloud of purple spores. Now, normally, you would make a difficult mind test, but you do have these spectral wings that I'm imagining could probably help with blowing the spores away. So you're going to have 2 positive dice, 1 negative dice for a mind roll.
Okay. Spectral Spores will be playing the Whiskey A Go-Go this weekend.
We have a lot of great bands on this.
Yeah.
All right, that is a 1.
Mm.
Total of 1. So you get another tag of feeling groggy. And as you're a little bit disoriented and you're having a hard time finding where the exit is, where you first came in, all of the vines and roots know instinctively that it's time to attack you. They get advantage and they attack you first. Grasping roots burst out of the ground and try to pin you down. I need you to roll for me a body or a defense roll. So you're going to make your roll and you're going to add your armor to that, which is a defensive 1.
do I roll just one of each, or
You're treating this like you would a body check, so 1 positive die, 1 negative die.
I
and
didn't
then
know
you're
if I had
adding-
more
Yeah.
negative die because I was groggy.
You're right. Well, thank you for reminding me. Yeah, you get -2 dice.
Way to speak
Cool.
up, sucker.
Hey, you always bitch at me for
Hey, no, I appreciate that honesty.
Hey, you know what, John? Here's the secret. I'm gonna make fun of you no matter what you do.
That's true. You are a sack of shit. No, you're lovely. Okay. So
No one ever makes fun of Bridget because she is blameless and faultless in this world.
And also,
It's
I'm
because
I'm
the sun god is
yeah,
protecting
yeah.
me.
That's true.
I'm
That wasn't a
intimidated
negative
by
comment,
her
that is like a
melanomic
positive. Like, I've never
rays.
heard anyone pick on
I-
Bridget.
I feel like I teased Bridget a bunch at Ghoulish.
Well,
Yes.
I wasn't at Goulash Fest.
I am much more teasy in person. So that
Oh,
gives me
goody.
a grand that gives me a grand total of -2.
Okay.
Woo!
I think that's a fail.
That it is. So you are hit by these roots. They begin to first they wrap around your ankles and hold you down fast, and they start to snake vines up to your throat, so that you take 2 points of damage, and they beginning to encase you more and more with roots.
Ah, it's like
Anyone
Evil
wanting
Dead.
to help? Ooh, yeah, we can definitely. Yeah, the ankles are moving further apart. Anyone wanting to help your compatriot, or are you wanting to push in deeper and leave him to his fate?
I'm going to play green sleeves on my panpipes.
Yeah,
I would love to hear you. I would love to hear you hum or however you want to.
now it's King's Quest.
Did you go mute?
Did I?
No,
I
I can
Okay.
hear you.
Okay, good.
I didn't hear any of that. Sad. I was just thinking of like when the one show where you're like, "Hello, my honey," you're in the ragtime.
Yeah.
I was
No,
like,
no,
man, it was
This is more like a haunting Charlie Brown Christmas sort of noise.
Vince
You can,
Giraldi.
I always connect that song to Feifel's Quest.
I have a
yeah.
King's Quest for me because it was the intro music for King's Quest.
Feifel's Quest. Feifel goes to
Feifel-
capitalist land.
Hmm.
Okay, so remind me. So the rest of you, are you leaving your compatriot, or are you pressing further into the
I
cave?
grabbed my axe and
That was my attempt to help him.
Oh, okay.
yeah, Bugman in trouble. Fang's fault. No, and
As-
starts chopping at the vines.
Okay, so you're going to enter into that space. So
Yeah.
we'll do initiative, and we'll. Now, the first thing is, as you are choosing to act or not to act, that crystal that is jutting out of your chest, you feel something spreading in your chest, like a crunching, crinkling sound that's going through your muscles, and you're feeling your muscles begin to swell a bit. And you've now all of you have the crystal. You all have the augmented physique tag. Your muscles
Hell
are
yeah.
getting swollen, but your skin is beginning to go gray.
Who needs it?
I mean, I'm in my 30s, so this is
Yep.
fine.
Yep.
This doesn't phase me. I
Yeah.
attack the things attacking our Bugman.
Okay, we'll do this as a quick round robin of actions to see if we can't free you, and then maybe we get a sight into the next room before we wrap up. So go ahead, since you are all jacked up there, Fang, and don't forget, since we're close to time, if you would like to burn effort before you roll, spend a point of vitality, get extra bonus die.
Okay.
You're more than welcome to do so.
So I get the 2. I that's my negative one. And then I
With
get,
your augmented physique, you can have 3 total dice.
and then I can burn a thing to get 4 total dice. And only one of them's negative, right? Right?
Correct.
Yes.
Two would be negative.
Why would 2
Because
be negative?
the creature in this is a level 2 creature, which sets
Ah.
how many negative dice, but I was handling that at my end.
Okay, so I should have 5 dice. No. Okay, it's only 4. Don't worry about it.
Wow.
All right. My highest good die was a 5. My highest bad die was a 4.
Okay, so that's a positive of 1, and then you are adding your body, which is 3 with that bonus, so that's a total of 4. So yes, you actually strike with a weapon for the first time of the evening, and so you get 2 damage from your bone axe that slices through it. As you slice off some of the roots, you see that all of them convulse just a bit, and they loosen around your friend. Go ahead and make me a body check, Urok, to see if you can't free yourself.
Okay. Interesting.
Like interesting.
Yeah, I rolled another -6.
Did you also include that you'll be rolling 1 extra bonus die from your augmented physique?
Does it
Maybe
matter if I roll a -6?
Well, it means that if you go roll a positive 6, they could cancel out.
Okay. I did not.
Okay, you're still stuck fast. So you are still being choked by the vines. You take another 2 points of damage. Are the other 2 of you wanting to help your friend or advance to the next room?
Yeah, I could poke at the vine with the spear. I got a spear.
So all of you take the time to hack your friend free from this room. All of you take like a point of vitality from the many scratches that you get from the thorny vines or from the roots grabbling at you. And
Does that include me taking another point?
yes.
I am dead.
So you are dying. If you are, so when you're at 0, you come back in an hour with your hit points replenished or your vitality replenished in a scar. If you take more than that 0, then you actually start to die. But this is all hallucination. By spending so much time fighting this roots, you get a sense of struggle and triumph that you share with the rest of the tribe. You know that there are more rooms in this and other experiences that would help bind you to the tribe, but at least that the group of you have really become closer friends, if not, dare I say, family. So we can close out the montage here, unless all of you want to say in 5 seconds, what was the thing you've learned about in your spirit journey here that helps you connect with your new tribe?
Getting stabbed makes you strong.
Fang learned that, yes. Fang learned rock and chest. Good.
Oof.
Yeah, nothing. Fire doesn't solve everything.
I think that the rock and chest is symbolic, has powerful meaning. Maybe not literal.
No, Fangs have rock and chest.
Ooh.
Oh no.
It's rock.
As a closing thought, when you awaken in the chamber, your Bricklaw, the shaman, and the chieftain looks at an absolute aghast horror at all of you as you have a actual gray crystal jutting out of your physical body as you've come back out of the trip. And he begins to say like wards of like protection and starts to cast some pretty serious magic as you snap back into your bodies. But that's a story for another time. But we'll go ahead and close there.
Hooray.
Woohoo.
We have chest rocks.
Woo. Yeah, it went like 8 hours to explore rooms in this place.
There's a really cool rooms and stuff in here. Like I was like reading through some of the other rooms, really neat stuff. And the crystal is really cool because not only did you get your extra tag an hour after stabbing yourself with augmented physique, in 1 week, if you keep the crystal there, you get the tag alien voice in my head. And more stuff to follow.
Cool.
This is an interesting system. On one hand, it makes total sense to be able to like add tags and stuff to like give yourself a better positive dice pool. But at the end of the day, you could have 6 positive dice and still roll a 5 or a 6 on that
Dice
negative.
hate you, baby.
They did. It was a rough night for me, but that's okay. It's rough nights are also fun when you're playing role-playing games. Yeah, this was cool. So like I said, at the top of the show, I grabbed the adventure we played tonight, the core book and a supplemental book on primal gods and beliefs, and 2 adventure pamphlets for $40 off Exalted Funeral. And right now, if you go there, you can also get the reprint of the Morkborg vinyl, as well as This Discord Has Ghosts by Adam Vass, and a cool mushroom game called I can't remember now, but it's about haunting the chef that's eating you and prepping you, and you're a mushroom.
I like that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So that's all awesome. Hey, this weekend we have a book coming out from Madness Heart Press called The Trick by Douglas Ford. The cover features a lovely Baphomet. We also have 1 or 2 books by Wrath James White coming out pretty shortly here. Pure Hate and Everyone Dies Famous in a Small Town. And the week after that, we are honored to be releasing a collection from Jay Wilburn. May his memory be a blessing.
The
And
late,
may
the
he rest in
great.
peace. Yes. Amazing writer. And this, a hand to God, while I was laying out this anthology, I laughed, I cried, and it's just really amazing. Boy, howdy. Coming up next month, I'm actually going to be doing Madness Heart Games' first in-person show thing. We'll be at the Staples Game Day show here in Austin, Texas, over at Austin Books and Comics. It should be a lot of fun. Roland Coons and I will both be there. We'll be running Odd Gobs, Orkborg, and Dungeonator. So you can check it out there. Speaking of Odd Gobs, look what I have in my hands.
Odd.
Waboom. Waboom. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's here. It is. If you back the project, it's going out now. If you have not backed the project, you can still get it by going to madnessheart.com and picking it up there. I will be shipping out those orders. Yes, sir.
John, they can just go to oddgobs.com.
They can't.
I checked that today.
Oh, did you? Because I did too, and it didn't work. So, okay, if that oddgobs.com works, use that for sure. If it doesn't, which could have been my connection. So,
it makes the difference whether you put in HTTP or TTPS.
But yeah, go pick it up. I'll be shipping out those orders this week. Hopefully, yes, this weekend. I don't have anything else going on. There are also a couple of game stores in the country that you can go to, such as Ability Score in St. Louis will be carrying it. Also, another thing that just arrived today. Gosh, I'm trying to remember what arrived today. Think, John. Think.
Yeah,
No.
I just checked the link on Odd Gobs, and it takes them right there.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Charles.
Sure.
Whispers of the Dead Saint in paperback arrived today. I can start shipping these out. So again, madnessheart.press. Pick them up there, or you can buy it on Amazon, wherever you buy your books. Am I missing stuff? I don't know. We've done. Charles and I have run ourselves ragged this year. We put together a publishing calendar that, quite frankly, was not great on our mental and physical health. But luckily he has Babette and I have Beans, and we're just snuggling puppies until we can feel again. Our intro and outro music is Bog Wizard, specifically the song Barbaria off Purple Miasmic Smoke. Incredible band. You should check out their links, which are in our show notes. And hey, why not go over to Exalted Funeral and pick up Primal Quest? It, like, even if you just grab the core game, it's dirt cheap and it's cool as fuck. I think that's it. I think I'm spent.
I can add on top of that just a quick plug for Caleb Angelke, one of our friends of the show, has a sequel to the Korg Kickstarter, which was a massive success. So he is launching Korg Slayer, which is an expansion to all that, and I am the stretch goal writer for that. So I'll be writing some tons of flavored text for that. So if you like my stuff, or if you don't like my stuff, you can buy it and burn it. But you can back that on Kickstarter and see more of the stuff that I write.
Yes. Yeah. There you go. There you have it. We all do cool stuff. So go find us at onemoncast.com, or maybe just go follow us on Twitter. You can bug us all online. Almost all of us are open to commissions if you want us to do cool shit for you. Like hey, everyone on this thing needs money, baby. On that note, thank you so much for joining us on this consensual journey we call Wandering Monster. I have been John Orok Thule Baltusberger.
I have been Charles, some musical guy Bernard.
I've been Bridget Glub Brave.
I have been the sun god, Ian Servas.
Me, Mr. Paschke. Me play
Bang.
Fang. Yes, me brain work good. Best brain.
That's brain
Thank you.
ever.
Thank you all for joining us. We will be back next week when I believe we are going to be playing Ronin. If all things go to plan.
Mm-hmm.
If not, we'll be playing something else. So we'll see you back here next week. Until then, stay safe and maybe don't keep a hissing cockroach in your mouth.
Probably don't.
Or
you know,
do.
I'm not going to kink shame you.
No.
I will.